Hey, what's up fam, it's Black Hippie here. So it's been 6 months since I've had my Brazilian rainbow boa, and I just wanted to do an update with her on you guys. This is not my Brazilian rainbow boa. I was gonna bring her out, but she's actually in a shed. So whenever they're in a shed, I just like to let my snakes be because, you know, it's stressful for them. And yeah, so this is who we got out here today instead. And this is Kiki, she's an albino boa constrictor imperator, and she's looking pretty long these days. Still under 3 feet, probably entering that 2.5, a little over 2.5 feet right now. Like I said, it's been 6 months now that I've had my Brazilian rainbow boa. Today we'll be going over 3 things, and that's her eating habits. So my Brazilian rainbow boa's eating habits, handability, so how well she's able to, you know, how well you're able to handle her, or how well I've been able to handle her. And lastly, upkeep of husbandry. So that's really important. So today we're going to talk about those 3 factors. Cool. So tap in. Okay, so right now, my Brazilian rainbow boa, she's about like, I want to say like 8 months, 7 months, 8 months old. I've had her for 6 months now, and so I just want to give you guys some updates on that. So like I said before, we'll talk about her eating habits, we'll talk about, you know, handability, and we'll talk about, you know, upkeeping the husbandry, how that's been. Eating habits, she is a boa, and boas eat great. Like, she eats just as great as Kiki here and my other boa, even just as good as my ball python. So she hasn't missed a meal yet for me at all, and I think that attributes to, you know, her husbandry being on point. And so it's really important that with all these snakes, you know, in order to keep them healthy and eating for you consistently is, you know, your husbandry. Like right now, she's on hopper mice. I feel, whoa, what are you doing? I'm feeding her once a week, and like I said, she hasn't missed a meal yet for me. And so she's doing great on eating, and it's been super consistent. And like I said, I think that has a lot to do with how well you're keeping your husbandry on point. And so I can't stress that enough. But yeah, so eating has not been an issue. The only thing I would say, like if you have a Brazilian rainbow boa, is that you're gonna have to dig them out. They love to burrow. So, you know, it's not common you're really gonna see them out during the daytime. Usually they're gonna be like burrowed or maybe in their hide. But usually, I always see Skittles, she's always like, you know, buried deep down somewhere. And she kind of has her favorite location. So it kind of becomes a little bit easier when you kind of have an idea as to where they can be. But sometimes it could take a long time to find them. Like one time it did take me about 20 to 30 minutes to find them, just to do a video actually. And yeah, that took forever. And by the time I was able to find them, I was like too tired to really even shoot. But anyways, so that's kind of the only thing I would say to kind of just be a little cautious of when you get them. So handability, I would say like she's just as easy to handle as Kiki here. Obviously she's a little bit smaller than Kiki, but their size will be kind of similar if you really think about it. Obviously Kiki here would be a little bit bigger, but for the most part, they're pretty similar in size, you know, like lengthwise. But yeah, so I would say handability wise, if you've seen any of my videos handling her, you know, it's super easy to handle her. She's really shy actually, so, you know, there's no like assertiveness with her. She's not trying to be, there's no like defensiveness really, just super chill. So, you know, just as chill as Kiki here. And I think that's like a, you know, a big contributor once again to like kind of like stress. So if you keep your snake stress free, I feel like you know, less likely you run the risk of like getting bit, you know. So I always keep my head, or I'm always watching their head. I don't think that they would ever bite me, but you just never know those situations, especially if a snake is stressed out. So I'm always trying to keep an eye, and if I feel that they're too stressed out, you know, I usually keep handling to a minimum. So if I'm gonna handle Kiki here, and I realize that say if I pull her out of her enclosure and then she's like hissing a little bit, what I'll do is I'll still take her out of the enclosure because you don't want to reinforce that type of behavior, right? So if she were to do that and I just put her back in the enclosure, well, unfortunately, you run the risk of her thinking, oh, if I hiss or if I bite, I'm gonna get what I want. So just be cautious of that. But if they hiss, you know, I'll take them out, but I know that like they're irritable, right? And so if they're irritable, you know, you just gotta, you know, I would keep that handling session, you know, maybe 3 minutes, you know, and then gently put them back. But yeah, I mean, they're all great animals. So, you know, as long as you're consistent with handling, I think it shouldn't be an issue. A lot of people say that like they're nippy, but I feel that's like any snake. Any snake can be nippy. My ball python, I feel like I repeat this all the time, but my ball python was actually the most offensive snake I have. Way better now, but you know, all of these animals are super docile. They just need the time, patience, you know, and consistency. And with that, you're gonna have a docile snake, you know. I would say like handability, very easy to handle. I would just say just be a little careful. They do seem a little delicate, you know, so just be careful. Like be the warm tree, that's what I do. And so that usually works really well. So yeah, you really shouldn't have any issues with handling a Brazilian rainbow boa. I've handled many babies before, like when I was actually searching for a Brazilian, I had the pleasure of, you know, getting to meet like several different breeders and getting to handle the babies. Actually all my snakes, that's what I do. I've never like ordered something like online as an example. I'm just a big firm believer of hands-on, and so I like to get hands-on and make sure that that's a right pet or right fit for me. And so yeah, like Brazilian rainbow boas, I didn't have any issues with holding any of them. You know, it was from different breeders, so you know, just kind of in, how you say, I guess that just shows pretty much just like how docile of you know, just how docile they are. So yeah, you know, pretty simple. And last but not least, the husbandry. So one of the biggest things people will say about Brazilian rainbow boas is that, you know, it's really hard to keep them because of their humidity. I think that can be true, but if you have the right substrate and the right modifications to your enclosure, it won't be a problem at all. Like I never have any issues keeping any of my enclosures humidity up, but especially my Brazilian, you know, she stays at 99% 24/7. I never let it drop below 99%, and she has perfect sheds, she eats well, there's never been any issues. So I use a substrate mix of cocoa husk or cypress mulch, and then I do a 50-50 mix with, it's called jungle mix, and I've done many videos on that. You know, feel free to peruse them. But yeah, check that out if you're having issues with substrate. But yeah, so for the most part, yeah, keeping a Brazilian rainbow boa, you know, keeping their humidity and keeping their temperatures on point has been really easy. I don't think it's been hard at all. In fact, that's something I feel is a, you know, it's just not true. So a lot of people will say this, and some people have never even had a Brazilian rainbow boa, and they're just kind of perpetuating things that they've heard. And so, you know, instead of doing that, I think it's better to just like try it and see how it is for yourself. But like I said, you know, just make sure you have the right tools and the right modifications for your enclosure, and you're gonna have an easy time. And that goes for any snake. If you just do it the right way, you'll have an easy time. So make sure you do your research, take your time, be patient. There's no rush, you know. I don't want you guys to feel, oh man, if I don't act on this Brazilian rainbow boa today, I'm never gonna get one. That's not true at all, you know. So sometimes, yeah, you may come across a cool deal or something like that, but if you're not ready, you're not ready. And it's better to not rush it than to rush it. So that's just like the best advice I can really give you on that. Like I said, husbandry, upkeeping that has been super easy, has not been an issue at all. Hasn't been an issue at all, it's been super easy. And so, yeah. You know, that's that. So yeah, perfect sheds every single time with that substrate I was just telling you about. So you can even use that for, you know, boa constrictors. You can use it for ball pythons, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just Brazilian rainbow boas that I recommend that substrate for. Right, so we just went over that update on Skittles, my Brazilian rainbow boa, 6 months into keeping her. And just the 3 things we focused on, which were, you know, eating habits, handability, and husbandry, right? And so we just went over those, and yeah, I hope you guys have a little insight maybe as to what it could be like for you if you were to decide to get a Brazilian rainbow boa. But yeah, she's been doing great, no complaints. I wish I was able to have her out today, but unfortunately she is in shed. If you do want to see a video of her, you know, please check them out. There's tons of them. And yeah, so that does it, fam. Until next time, Black Hippie out. Much love. Kiki says peace and be safe. Have a great day. Much love. Black Hippie out. Peace.